Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, whoops, Marianne's Mystic Mentions, with me, Marianne, and the mystic aspects of life, you know, the things we see, the things we don't see, the miraculous, the magic, the wonder, the power, the planets, all of those are inclusive in my channel. And for those that are new, welcome to my channel. I appreciate you stopping in. I will tell you what my format is. It's been this way for a while. I do change it up. But for now, I do a reading a day. So my readings tend to take usually through the half of the month because I don't rush it. And I read for every single sign. I start with Aries, I end with Pisces. And what I do is I then pick a love connection that spirit right in front of you needs you to know about, specifically for the featured sign of the day. I pick 4 cards from my beautiful tarot divination that changes every month. And this month I'm using the incredible Light Seers deck. This is absolutely becoming top 5 at this point. And I have a lot of decks, but I really, really love it. And not just because of the illustrations. There's something about the feel of it. And it's been incredible readings, you know. I mean, I think it has something to do with it, but I'm really loving it. So I do the 4, you know, a card representing each week and what kind of energies are possible that you might be experiencing. And then I will definitely finish with 2 oracles. I change those up as well. And a rune, like the cherry on the sundae, as it were, which tends to really kind of just be so synchronistic to the readings. And it's been really exciting and fun. So I hope you'll stick around to watch that. And today's beautiful featured sign is, and I wouldn't say it's a coincidence, it just happens to be working out this way. The water, Mars historically, Pluto modernly ruled transformational fixed sign of Scorpio. I mean, this is emotion to the nth degree because water signs live their life through their emotions, through their feelings. It's choking me up even talking about it. And we just happen to be having the second of the 2, really got to me. The second of the 2 eclipses, because they always run in pairs, in the sign of Scorpio. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to get some water. I always bring it in here. It's so funny. Anyway, please forgive me. It's a big one. It's intense. Any kind of a full moon, which is what this is. It's a full lunar eclipse in Scorpio, happening on the 15th in Northern America, and then the 16th early in the morning, UK European time. So yeah, briefly, just once again about Scorpio. Very, very intensely driven, dedicated, loyal, very fascinated with the human psyche, recognizing, you know, energy, being very in tune with the energies, very psychic, very capable of prophetic dreams and, you know, clairvoyance and all the beautiful aspects of the esoteric world and the, you know, spiritual world kind of combined. There's mystery to any Scorpio I've ever known. They can be very internal and a lot of times quiet, but I've known very outgoing ones as well. So they're kind of a mixed bag as far as that goes. I guess their main thing, though, as I'm saying, and are well known for, is the fact that they are all about transformation. That's the Pluto, more modern effect on Scorpios. If you have any water or Scorpio in your personal planet chart, you're going to really notice this, and I think it's going to be an amazingly beautiful time for you. I think you're going to come up with some incredible epiphanies and truth for yourself. I mean, the full moon always shines a light on situations and, you know, you see things clear. This is a super moon, so it literally will be closer to the earth in addition to being an eclipse and being in Scorpio. And, you know, the North Node is the Taurus energies right now, and in the planet of Taurus, and the South Node is what we consider our past, and that is what is in Scorpio. And it's with the South Node, we're really wanting to kind of break away and release certain things that just aren't working. And this happens periodically through our lives. You know, this isn't the only time you'll ever hear about a Scorpio lunar eclipse, although it takes a while because we go throughout the, you know, the zodiac and then so forth. But it's a big one. And along with the Taurus energy of these eclipses, that'll actually run through, I believe it's May of next year, the same two eclipses, and the next one being at the latter part of the year. And the stories that come and the energy, it lasts for months and months, and sometimes many years, truthfully. So what's accomplished or what's recognized, or the truth that's revealed, or the ability to change yourself in some way and make that move, or start that relationship, or end that relationship, or really take hold on what your honest beliefs are and what you really want in your life. That's going to be a big part of this beautiful, you know, full moon. So I already feel it. I think a lot of water signs do. There's kind of this nervous almost energy. And then once again, it's an emotional time. I was crying earlier. I was watching something and I was just like, it's not hard for me to cry. I have water in my chart, definitely, but I have a lot of air too. So anyway, that's not important. What's important is that's going on. We also we're fully in Mercury retrograde, and we will be through June 3rd. And then of course it'll go into the shadowy period while it gets back its momentum. So I've had some difficulty uploading these videos. I usually do during retrogrades. My Virgo reading took from Monday early afternoon to Wednesday morning before it actually was able to upload. I just kept looking and trying and deleting and yesterday's piece of cake. So it's kind of a who knows what's happening situation. I'm just going to do what I can and make the best of it. And we definitely had at the same day which was the 10th of May, that Mercury went retrograde, Jupiter changed signs from Pisces into Aries. So bam, and yes, I absolutely feel that. I have been wanting to, and I'm back at work. Had a surgery. It went incredibly well, but I still feel that I need, you know, I'm not quite there yet, and I'm way further than I thought I would be. And this energy absolutely is making me realize, first of all, I can do more than I've been doing, and it's not going to hurt me, and it's going to help me. And that motivation it's all about Aries, you know, the cardinal sign, the doer, the leader, the number one sign, the childlike wonderment of why not? Let's try it. You know, that enthusiasm and spirit and eagerness. That's what I'm feeling, and it's fantastic. I need that. I hope you are feeling that and understand that, and because we're all able to feel it. It's just it might happen more particularly in one sign other than someone else's. It's relative to a lot of things, but these are general readings, so I try to keep it as simple as I can. So Scorpio, you know, and Aries is great energy for you. That Mars is the ruling planet of Aries, and that's what yours historically was. You know, you're that fiery water sign, man. You mean what you say, and you say what you mean. It's kind of black and white with you, I'll be honest. And you know, people generally, unless you want to be secretive, which you can be, people pretty much know where you're coming from and what you're feeling. I don't think there's any you're very authentic in a lot of ways, as is Aries, and you can appreciate that. What you see is what you get. You tend to wear your heart on your sleeve, and people know when you're not particularly happy or when you are. But there's great love, you have great passion. Oh, do you ever, right? So there's a lot of that happening in the air right now. I can feel it, and it's been very interesting. I finished with the rune, and I used the card for the reference and the information coming from the rune, but it's been a lot about physicality and sexuality and, you know, exploration and what the heck. And I'm thinking to myself, it's been a lot of years since I've really thought and focused about that, and my readings are making me really think this moon is obviously affecting me in that way. I'm not saying no to those things. I was just like realizing I hadn't really thought about it. Now I'm definitely thinking about it. Perhaps you can relate to this, and I hope so, because we're here to live, right? And enjoy our lives. Now let me pick, if I may, beautiful Scorpio, your spirit guided love connection of all forms, and the energy that will be coming to you from this sign, whether it be an actual person or the actual energy feeling that you're feeling more predominantly. Could be someone you're very, very close with now and you know exactly what I'm speaking with. Someone that could be coming into your life, because Mercury retrogrades always bring people back in, and you could be on the lookout for that, or a brand new person. So, all right, Spirit, guidance to find the best love connection for the month of May, and for the sign of beautiful, beautiful Scorpio. Whew. Well, you have Libra. And Libra was the featured sign of yesterday. And Libra's right next to you. And as a Libra myself, I let me think. 1, 2, definitely 2. One of my first relationships, Scorpio. I think there's always going to be that attraction with Libra and Scorpio. You are, after all, right next to each other on the horoscope board and in real life, and you feel each other's energy. You kind of really understand each other. There is that psychic connection that's seen, doesn't necessarily have to be, or felt doesn't have to be spoken about. I appreciate so much a lot of the characteristics of a Scorpio, and the only thing for me as an air sign, which is about mind and expansion and growing and learning and communicating and talking, is perhaps the secretive aspect that comes through with Scorpios. Some more than others. Like I said, I've been involved with more than one in my life, and I have many acquaintances that I've worked with. We are in the same field. And then I do have some pretty heavy hitter planets in Scorpio. So there is that pull and that connection for me. I just know that I like more of an open dialogue. And I have an Aries moon, so it's really about just being real and frank and just out there as much as possible. And that's not always something you can find, but a lot of times, especially when you're in a deep relationship with a Scorpio, they're in it to win it. They're not going to go anywhere anytime soon, as long as you're willing to work at it and accept people for who they are, right? That's a huge thing. So obviously, Libra, what I also feel about this is that because Jupiter went into Aries on the 10th, which is 2 days ago, that's your polar opposite. So there's this incredible time you're going to be having, Libra, as far as relationships in general. For the remainder of time, Jupiter is in Aries. Now, it's going to be in Aries from the 10th through the October 28th. Then it goes back into Pisces for 2 months, and then it goes back into Aries on December 20th through May 16th of next year. So there could be some phenomenal changes and beautiful meeting of the minds. I like putting it that way. Between you and a Scorpio, between you and water, between just yourself and the way that Scorpio affects you, and vice versa with, Libra's fairness and justice and wanting to see all sides, but wanting to, Venus rules Libra. We're in Taurus season right now, and Taurus is also ruled by Venus. There's a lot of love and emotion, and I feel like there's a strong desire for a lot of us to have stronger connections on some level. And this is the time. I think it's going to really put a spotlight, figuratively and metaphorically, because, the moon does shine its powerful light. I mean, it affects all of us. It affects the tides and our moods. And, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of moodiness sometimes to Scorpio, because they're they're just real. They go with their feeling, you know, and they sense so much and they feel so much. They take on quite a bit of people's energy. So a lot of times this secretiveness or this quietness and everything, it's essential. So just accepting that and working through that is going to be a really beautiful thing, because let's just say it's in partnerships. This could be a long-term, beautiful, resourceful and important transformation in regards to pretty much any relationship. So that's your highlighted connection, Scorpio. And Libra, you know, if it's not somebody, like I said, you know now, you could have that energy and a lot of Libra placements in your chart. But for some reason, I just really feel like there's a lot of truth that comes out when it's in Scorpio. It digs for the truth and it brings it out. And sometimes, let's face it, we don't want to see or hear some of the truth that's we're all going to still be hearing. Example, there are several court cases happening, you know, Supreme Court and so forth. Won't go into detail. I'm sure a lot of you know what I mean. And the verdict is not quite out, but it will be, and it's gonna be surprising and shocking in a lot of ways, but it's also going to open us up to perhaps make changes in that system as well. I mean, it's just an ever ongoing process. So be aware of the truths that you may have gut feelings about right now. The intuition is pretty spot on. Listen to that. Know that justice in many ways does prevail, even though it doesn't seem like it. And sometimes it takes, 30 years or more with these shows you see where they find DNA and all this sort of thing. It's remarkable, though, that at some point it actually does come forth. So, and we all know there's commonly the saying of there's your truth, my truth, and then the truth. So I'm speaking of the truth, you know, and it will set you free. So I'll get off my soapbox now. Let's do the actual reading for the 4 weeks of the month of May. Today's the 12th, so we're going towards the second week, because this eclipse will kind of initiate at the beginning of our second week here. But it's okay, because anytime you watch this is perfectly okay. The messages are every bit as important, and they're specifically for you, as I said, and it's been designed that way. And I ask Spirit to always help me in communicating and, you know, bringing the message to you. Which I'm having a little bit of issue with. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but this is the throat chakra, which is connected to our heart. And knowing your power and knowing your being conviction, the conviction of what is right and what you feel is right is what is the most important thing, you know, and being very true to yourself about that. That's another truth, of course. So, first week coming out, you had the, is this the King of Swords? The Knight. It's a different, you know, deck, so it's not like the Rider-Waite-Smith I used for years, and then a lot of them are similar, but I love it. This is the Knight. The Knight is a fast-moving knight. The Knight is a messenger, and it is the sword. So you've got reference to the air signs, be it Libra, which came up in your, you know, love connection. Libra, of course, like I said, the very strong connection being with the now Jupiter and Aries polar across the way from you know, Libra, and just a very fast, straightforward, you know, no holds barred truth, justice kind of information coming through, and just eager to make it come, you know, just it's on its way. If it hasn't already gotten here, or you're not feeling this prompting of some sort, which I wouldn't be surprised about with you, Scorpio. It's definitely going to be coming soon, and I would say by the light of the full moon. And then, you know, so the next couple of things would be, we have the new moon on the 30th, which will be in Gemini, and I can't even think or talk, of course. With Mercury retrograde, it's always a little bit more of an uphill battle. But the Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Gemini, and Gemini is another air sign, as I mentioned. So there might be some confusion a little bit, but it will clear up. It'll absolutely clear up. And the speed, even though with Mercury retrograde and things may be held back and there may be blockages and some, stalls along the way, maybe through technology, like me uploading, or your transportation, or definitely speaking or writing. And, you got to make sure you're being understood. You got to double check and then check again. I've already had mishaps that way. Even though I know this, I profess it to people, and I really do mean to practice what I preach. And it sneaks in there. You're like, whoa, okay. I was wanting to send a text to someone yesterday, and it was just below my son's, and of course I sent it to him, and he's just like, I think you meant to send this over there. And I go, oops, you're right. Those are mundane little things, but you want to make sure it's nothing really serious, okay? Because this is where that's going to happen. You may think you're right on top of it, and the next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh. Because there's just this kind of fogginess that comes about. So just relax and take a vacation if you can, and just double check the plans and the accommodations that make sure you're not, they haven't canceled out on you and you're not aware of it and that sort of thing. I mean, it can be okay. It'll be fine. And it's not going to last that long. It never does. Fast moving information though, something very pertinent to you. I always associate swords as well with institutions like banks, maybe something to do with money, with Venus being a very, very prominent planet this month and for some time to come with the Aries, Jupiter and Aries. And Jupiter is all about money and luck and prosperity and abundance and expansion and in specific areas, like I said, and it could very well be about money. So maybe getting a loan or investments. Now, Scorpio, you represent the 8th house, so that's other people's money. And that means, life, death, inheritance. It means borrowing and other people, like I said, it could be taxes, it could be gifts, it could be windfalls, these are the out of the blue things that come about, especially because Uranus, the planet of unpredictability, has been in Taurus for like 4 years and it's still in Taurus. And it's in Taurus season right now. Happy birthday, Tauruses. If your birthday's today or you're cross watching for, a Scorpio, because a lot of Scorpios and Tauruses are like this. That's that water and earth element that just really jives together beautifully. And you're the polar opposite. So yeah, I see this all the time. So yeah, interesting. I'd love to know if you're liking this channel and you think that you are going to return and you want to see more. I would love you to, and all you got to do is push that notification bell, because it's kind of different times that I'll upload. Also, definitely thumbs up for that great old support. And then subscribing, which is such a beautiful thing, and it's not done that much. A lot of people will watch me since I've had the channel, and I don't know that they've subscribed yet, but it helps me a lot because it builds the channel. So that's kind of what I'm working towards with these eclipses. Let's see if we can make this happen, and it's a huge part of your support. So thank you for that. Second week. Coming up, we're actually in it, 2 of Cups. How perfect is that? I've been mentioning a lot about how I don't usually, love connections can be absolutely romance, of course. Commitments, next level, making a commitment, finally deciding to get married or move in, and all the, the really big transformational things that happen when that occurs. But it's the cups, the 2 of Cups. It's you, Scorpio. It's your heart. It's your fulfillment. It's your imagination. It's your creativity on 10, And it's also with somebody. And it's this partnership and connection, love or not, that's going to be very much available to you. And it feels like it's something you want. And as I said myself openly, that's not been a part of my life. I do a lot, and I love a lot of people. I have you know, things and animals and kids and friends and stuff, but I have not done this thing with that commitment thing. I can't even say it. But I feel like it could really absolutely happen. I really do. And I don't even know how, and it won't. I'm very sure because I know what I want, of course. I don't see it as being really traditional or that sort of thing. I just think it's going to be something that's going to come in because I'm open to it, and I feel like that's what you're allowing. And you may get some information or somebody saying, huh, Scorpio, I know somebody that would like to meet you. What do you think about just coming over to our get together, you know, and being safe, of course, or the good old blind date. I don't know about you, but I much prefer the in-person kind of thing, as long as it feels safe and it's all good. But there's something very, very clearly evident that there is a necessary and possibly, you know, fated relationship and partnership coming your way. Ooh la la. Third week. Queen of Swords. Well, there you go. This happens all the time. This is why I love to read. This is why I do what I'm doing, and it's my passion. And I have another job as a full-time massage therapist, and of course tarot reader. I do readings in person, and would love to do readings a couple days a week online, working on that. But you got Libra as your love connection, and this is Libra and Aquarius and Gemini. But I feel like it's, well, you know what? The tarot card Justice really represents Libra, because I think each sign has at least one or possibly sometimes two. But this is definitely feeling like Libra with everything we've already discussed and I've talked to you about for this month. So strong, you know, dedicated, balanced, fair, willing to compromise, willing to have those conversations, sometimes uncomfortable, but nevertheless, I mean, I myself, Libras don't care for confrontation, but doggone it, if it's going to make this relationship better and things have to be said, I mean, you can say it tactfully, right? But there are conversations that will be had, and they're going to make for a great outcome. That's all I can say. I feel very strongly about this. I see this particular Libra or air sign being very, very strong as usual, I would say, and you know, independent and feeling like, okay, I'm heading in the right direction. I see this as being on a boat of some sort in the ocean, and I see a couple of flags that remind me of wands. I mean, just like, I know the direction I want to go now. That seems quite a bit of confidence. Well, of course, with Aries, there's going to be more confidence, and I think you're going to feel that way as well, Scorpio. So you've got the 2 swords and then the cups. You're right in between. Huh. Final week. Gemini new moon. Perfect time for those intentions to be written down and really just open your mind and heart to your manifestations and what you want and what your goal is, because that'll be just about the week, you know, between the 30th and the 3rd of June. You're just about ending this Mercury retrograde, so you've got everything written down and done the due diligence. You've really been thinking about it a lot because you've had a lot of extra time when things weren't, like, people changed their appointments and whatnot on you on Mercury retrograde time frame, which, you know, it happens, but it opens those times up to focus on something else. And I never think it's a coincidence. There are none. So what do you have, beautiful Scorpio, for the final week with that influence? I love this. This has come up quite a bit, by the way. But it's absolutely perfect, and it really makes me think of you anyway. And it is the Judgment card, and that is the major arcana. And it's just the most beautiful, you know, depiction of it, because it's this transformational energy. You know, the judgment has been made, a choice has been made. It's absolutely meant to be, as I said, karmic a lot of times, destiny, and you're rising above and emerging through an upward and allowing and surrendering and trusting and just opening up this beautiful heart chakra and the emotion center, which is everything you are. And I feel like it's water for some reason. It looks like it to me, but you can sort of see this beautiful aura of this, you know, spiritual entity, which is yourself, because we are spirits in a human form, you know, in this shell, if you will, that when we pass away and we leave this planet, our energy then goes and transforms into yet another incarnate. I mean, that's a definite belief. Not everybody has to believe that, but I know that there's scientifically proven that energy doesn't die, it just changes, so, and carries on. It's interesting. Oh, wow. It's almost overwhelming to think that everything is eternal. There is actually no ending. It just keeps on moving. Wow, this is intense. This is what this time is this month, but it's also incredibly wonderful, and I love intensity in life. I don't want it to just be humdrum and okay, let's go to the store now or something, you know. I mean, and of course with other people involved, that makes it even more incredible and special. So perhaps this unit, this partnership, it was meant to be, and if it was something that had already happened, it could very well, like I said, be coming back, and you'll know. You'll most certainly know, but you'll keep getting more hits on this wonderful full moon in your own sign, Scorpio, eclipse that it'll guide you and lead you, you know, to your highest good. So let me then now read your oracle message, which is from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm deck. Beautiful deck. And this is for the month of May. It could extend outward further, like a lot of the energies will. They're just percolating now in the beginning. So it's just this, whew, you know, every time you turn around, it's like something else is coming into the mix. But it's fun, and I love it. It does make us feel alive, doesn't it? And for you, Scorpio, you have the Wise Woman of Wonderland. Now remember, it doesn't have to be woman. It could definitely be any gender, but I will say this Venus energy is extremely feminine, so it will cater to your feminine side, man or woman alike. You know, we all, doesn't matter the gender. The words below it are integrity and compromise. Well, there's that Libra. I mean, it's just ridiculous how incredibly synchronistic your reading is, and beautiful. So congratulations. You know, I mean, a lot of readings are, but this is probably one of the most, and I think it's just that power that you provide for us, and your strength and inner knowing and knowledge, and just the manifestational aspects you have. It's 21, and that's a 3. 2 plus 1 is a 3 in numerology. So simply put, 3 is about growth and expansion and, you know, mastering. The 3 of Pentacles is, you know, just that, and it's cooperativeness from other people. So please, and I know I may have said this before, please ask for that help should you need it. People love to help a lot of times, and I took such a long time. I still have a little bit of an issue at times with it, but feel free to ask, and I promise it will be there for you. And I'll read to you a little more. Now we've got a bunny here. Now that could be fertility. There's another big thing here about fertility when we're talking sexuality and Scorpio and just changes and transformation. I mean, it could be, like I said, the next level as far as having a child or not having, you know, one, and now deciding that, and that's the rest of your life transformation, right? Judgments made, the decisions are made, the partner has been found, the time is now. Everything is about timing. So reading to you what 21 says, I don't know if you saw this well, but it does make me think of Alice in Wonderland, so I'm just realizing when I look at this. Just that kind of fantasy, but that can be brought to real life, you know, miracles and things. I meant the mystic aspect I told you about from the beginning. Oh, it's happening in every moment. And I have been blessed with miracles this year, and I just will never, ever, ever forget and feel so incredibly, such gratitude for. And it's just a constant reminder that they're in every moment. So the wise woman of Wonderland brings integrity to thought, word, and deed. She lets you know that as long as you're in the flow of honesty and being true to your word, and I said truth is going to be a huge portion of this lunar eclipse, and then moving forward for the world, for individuals, for yourself. She keeps you under her protection and care. When she appears as your ally, she signals a time when honesty pays off, yielding greater dividends than you expected. You'll be thankful that you remained faithful and loyal to your path. She reminds you that compromise isn't always an option. Stay true to yourself first and foremost. Although it may appear that you could lose something as a result, you can never lose what is truly yours. I love hearing that. I haven't heard that in a while. You can never lose what is truly yours. Knowing that in itself is just this beautiful kind of opening to, okay, everything is right. Everything is exactly the way it needs to be. And we certainly are enough, and so on and so forth, right? I love that. I think it's beautiful. The integrity. Now I'm going to pick I just pulled these two because I think this is a wonderful deck. This is the Motivation Manifesto deck. And it is really just these wonderful sayings and paragraphs sometimes 2 or 3 sentences designed just for you. Something to think about, something to marinate on, something to, say as your daily mantra or, positive thought. You got a long one. To stand emotionally open before the world and give of our hearts without fear or of hurt or demand of reciprocity. This is the ultimate act of human courage. Ooh, I'll read that again. To stand emotionally open before the world and give of our hearts without fear of hurt or demand of reciprocity. This is the ultimate act of human courage. So bring it on, because that sounds like something you would be extremely capable of and are and have been. And just remind yourself of that and take a little snapshot if you want. Just say it to yourself over and over and feel this and then become this and share the wealth. Spread it out there, okay? Bring it out to everybody and it'll come back tenfold, right? That's the law of attraction. That's the side effect. Well, I'm going to finish with your rune now, and I'm feeling this reading very strongly. I feel it's it's time. I mean, we had such transformation that was brought upon all of us, and we didn't see it coming, and we worked our way through and navigated through it, and we're on the other side, and we're still going through it. But it's like, wow. I think it's so important for our human character to know that we can get through some of the worst circumstances, and completely surprise ourselves. But then that gives us that courage and that Aries energy to just push it forward, just keep it going. As long as we're alive, we want to keep the transformation and the changes and the transformation of everything happening, to the best of our abilities. And so your rune, I always like to pick the rune from the velveteen bag, and then I read the definitions and what its true purpose and meaning is. And so you have, ooh, it's kind of cool. Looks almost like a broom, 3-pronged. And these are, the alphabet, not the English alphabet though. I believe it's Greek, but I'm afraid right now as I'm saying that if I'm wrong. But if I am, I'm wrong. What can I say? And I apologize. And I'll read up on it again. I've loved runes for all these years. I believe it is. And I feel like I need to do that right now. But let me see what it says really quickly. Nope, that's the wrong box. I apologize. So yes, let's see which one matches this wonderful rune picked just for you. for the month of May, Scorpio. Is it going to be the last one? There's even a blank one that has a meaning. Here it is. All right. What could this be? Is this a W? No. It's hard because you got to memorize it because of association. And I haven't picked this one, I don't think, since I've started doing these. Alges, letter Z. Well, I'll be a son of a gun. It's definitely got to be about a lot of memorizing and just doing it over and over so I remember. L has theme, elk, in parentheses, guardians. Keywords, refuge, protection, safety. Sanctuary, gardens, trust, guardians, not gardens, and trust. Well, there's that trust again, and truth. Magical working, protection, summoning guardians. That's third time, guardians. Surrendering, as I said, and that beautiful knowing there's always, you're being watched and constantly co-creation is happening. Create a safe space, building good instincts. You've certainly got that, Scorpio, but I guess we can always learn to continue to grow. Safe and protected space. Take advantage of natural defenses. Allies with your best interest at heart. Be alert and keep your wits. I would say that full moon would absolutely keep you alert. And the number is 15. 1 plus 5 is a 6. This is a 6th year. We're going into a 6th month next month. 6 also represents Venus, believe it or not. So keeping the balance, keeping the beauty, keeping the love alive, and the magic. And all is well in your world, I hope. So have an amazing May, because there's so much to discover and to feel and to accomplish and to relax and retreat at the same time. So yeah, thank you for your time. I can't thank you enough. It means a lot to me. I appreciate you all, and I will be back for June's reading. I hope you will as well. Until then, take care and bye for now.